Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is August 31st, 2022. I just want to congratulate Serena Williams on winning today and improving to 42-0 in the first two rounds of the U.S. Open. The 42-year-old Serena Williams has done it again. Last month, I wrote a poem and I called it 42. And if you haven't seen it, I'm going to leave a link to this poem in the comment section of this video. And basically what the poem is about is bringing to light how the number 42 has been stamped on black people throughout history in a negative way, in a bad way. And if you guys take a look at the screen, in case you're new here, if you're not new here, this should be, you guys already know what's going on. But just in case some new people come around and are wondering what is the meaning of this video, and what is the meaning of the number 42, and how come Serena Williams at the age of 42 becomes 42-0 in the first two rounds? Well, that number has a strong meaning, and it has been stamped on black people in a negative way throughout history. And there's multiple examples that we can talk about in this video, but I don't really need to explain every single one or every single time this number has shown up in history. I think with the example that I pointed out in my poem, I think those are enough for people to see that there's something up with this number, and that in fact they are in fact coding it around black people, African Americans especially. If you notice, the term, the N-word, equals 42 in gematria. Gematria is the simple practice of coding numbers into words. And when you write out the N-word, N-I-G-G-E-R, it has a value of 42. Terms like slavery, bigotry, they also equal 42 in gematria. The month February, which is Black History Month, that month equals 42 as well. And think about baseball players like Jackie Robinson, who wore the number 42. The name Jackie's 42. There was a baseball player named Moses Walker, whose name equals 42 and played exactly 42 games for the Negro League. He was actually the first black baseball player, but a lot of people say Jackie Robinson because Jackie Robinson played in MLB, but if you go back to the Negro League, Moses Walker was definitely one of the first black baseball players. The first. In the poem, I also talk about how in the show Martin, he lives in apartment 42. His name Martin equals 42. His next door neighbor is a woman named Shanae, which is played by himself. The name Shanae is also 42 as well. And I talk about how Ronnie King, infamous person in black history, a person who was beat down by the police in the 90s. He was born on April 2nd on 4/2. Legendary basketball players like LeBron James suffered a 42-point loss to the Indiana Pacers. This was the worst loss of his career, by the way, 42 points. And in gematria, the name LeBron James equals 42. A lot of people say that Nate Thurmond might be his father. Nate Thurmond was born in Akron, just like LeBron James. Played for both the Cavaliers and the Warriors. They definitely do have a lot of similarities. And, keep in mind that Nate Thurmond died 27 days after LeBron scored 27 points in Game 7 of the NBA championship when the Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the Golden State Warriors on the real King James' birthday. LeBron scored 27 points that day, and then 27 days later, this man died. Nate Thurmond, number 42. And of course, LeBron was born on December 30, right? 12 plus 30 equals 42. His teammate Anthony Davis, his birthday is 42 weeks before LeBron James' birthday. And he's, Russell Westbrook, who's the point guard for the Lakers, he set the NBA record with 42 triple doubles back in 2016. That is the most triple doubles in a single season, 42. And there's a lot of more examples like DMX, who overdosed on April 2nd, and legendary rappers like Mobb Deep, who died at the age of 42, and Whitney Houston, who died 42 days on the 42nd day of the year, and she was known as the voice and her nickname was 42 as well. And people like Chadwick Boseman, who died at the age of 42 on Jackie Robinson Day. Jackie Robinson wore the number 42, and not only was Chadwick Boseman 42 years old and played Jackie Robinson in the film 42, but he died on Jackie Robinson Day. And I'm like, I don't understand how this went over people's heads. Like, the guy plays Jackie Robinson in the film 42 and dies at the age of 42 on Jackie Robinson Day. There's no gematria in that. You don't even need to know the significance of the number 42. I mean, just the fact that he was 42 years old when he died, and he dies on Jackie Robinson Day, and then he played Jackie Robinson in the film 42, that should be like enough. But people overlook this. This went over people's heads. So there's a big significance with this number 42. And speaking of LeBron James, if you look up the 2022 Raspy Awards, the Raspy Awards is the awards for the worst movies of the year. It's a day before the Oscars, and LeBron James won the worst actor for Space Jam at the 42nd Raspberry Awards, or Raspberry Awards, I think it's called. You can look that up, but that is a fact. So in case you're wondering why Serena Williams at the age of 42 just improved to 42-0 in the first 2 rounds of the U.S. Open, it's because they are shaming her ritualistically by the numbers. Okay? This number has been stamped on black people over and over again. And this is yet another example. All right? Yesterday, if you missed the video that I did yesterday, there was an unbelievable synchronicity with her and Albert Pujols. Go watch that video just so you guys can see how rigged and scripted these professional games really are. And the sick part about it all is not that it's just rigged, because it's more parts to it. Right? The first part is, they are rigging the games, right? So the outcomes are controlled. But what they're also doing is they're using these same numbers that they're rigging the games by to shame the athletes. And not only are they doing that, but they're also killing these people by the numbers as well. And sometimes they kill their family members. Sometimes they kill their children. I mean, this stuff is sick. The Jesuit order are a bunch of sick mother effers who do things this way day after day. And so few people even know about this stuff, even though we have so many examples to show people. I mean, you can literally go on my blog and I think if you just type in 42, you're going to see what I'm saying. Look, because I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. Actually, almost 4 years. It's about to be 4 years. So let's just type in 42. So the first thing that comes up is the poem that I wrote, right? But let's keep looking. Oh, Bill Cosby. Let's see how they coded the number 42. Oh, look. Bill Cosby, known as America's Dad, equals 42. Cosby Show equals 42. The name of the family was Huxtable, and that equals 42. And then, look, this post went up in 2021. And like I said, there's too many examples. This was last year around this time that I made this blog post. Bill Cosby's Jesuit order. But you see how they coded the number 42 around Bill Cosby, right? And keep in mind that Black History equals 181, the 42nd prime number. That's something that I left out. But, the word boy is 42, right? Which is another derogatory term for black people, boy. Names like Malcolm X are 42 as well. Let's keep looking. Let's see. There's one more example before we end this live stream. A lot of you have probably never heard of Emmanuel Deshawn, but he was in the headlines for killing a woman named Rhonda. But let's see. Somebody you guys know. George Floyd? You guys should all know George Floyd, right? He got killed in Houston, Texas, which equals 181 to 42nd prime. So many examples. I remember that story. Oh, look at this one. Okay, let's end it with this one. So this was from 2019 that I documented this. Right, we're gonna end it with this because we started talking about LeBron James and how he lost to the Pacers by 42 points. But look at this. LeBron James says he is nowhere near retirement. Los Angeles Lakers forward LeBron James on Friday said he is a long way from hanging up his high tops and likened himself to veteran New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady. I think what he said, because I wrote here that LeBron James wants to play until he's 42 years old. But I don't have the link to this article. So I'll give you guys one more example because that wasn't a good example. I mean, it is a good example, but I don't have the right. I didn't document it correctly. Of course, DMX, like I said, he overdosed on 4-2. We spoke about that already. I think literally every black person in the mainstream business, some way somehow that they are coded with, the ritual black shaming numbers. 42, 59 is another number. Lakers finished the year of the bubble. The Lakers finished 42-30. Kanye West divorced Kim Kardashian on the day of 42 numerology. That's funny. Okay, so let's end it with this. So I actually put this on my Instagram page. In the film Spider-Man, there's only been one. Actually, this movie came out in 2020. It's called Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And this Spider-Man here, he is the only black Spider-Man ever. There's never been a black Spider-Man until this one here, in this film. And in this film, the Spider-Man character, he was bit by a spider that had the number 42 on the body. You guys see right here? And in this scene, they put the number 42 right on the sidewalk. And this is actually a scene from the film. You just think about it. The only black Spider-Man gets bit by a spider with the number 42 on the body. I mean, but if you notice, the character is played by a man named Miles Gonzalo Morales, who's Hispanic black man, and his name is 102. And of course, in gematria, 102 it's a number paired with 42 often. Slavery is 102 and 42. The N-word is 42, and it's 102 in reverse. So the only black Spider-Man gets bit by a spider named 42, and the person that plays the character has a name that equals 102. Right? So I guess that's a good way to end it. But yeah, so like I said, congratulations, Serena. We're gonna keep exposing how they use these numbers to shame people of color. This is yet another example. I actually spoke about. I was trying to teach this to someone that I know in real life, and they're saying that that this is interesting, but that doesn't. It's not necessarily a fact that they have coded the number 42 around black people. And I'm like, what? What is it gonna take for some of you to see that this is definitely what's going on? Because it didn't take me that long to really see it. Like, okay, LeBron loses to the Pacers by 42 points. The name LeBron James equals 42. Born on 12/30. I don't know. It didn't take me so long to see it, but we can end it there. Shout out to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Yeah, Richard says, I know she's not 42. Maybe she's not. Let me see. Maybe I made a mistake. Oh, she's 40. I read somewhere that she was 42 years old. I don't know why that article was saying that. All right, look. This is let me see. Let me look up. Oh, her sister. Okay, my bad. Her sister's 42 years old. This is what I saw. I was like, Serena Williams is 42 years old. So her sister's 42 years old. So 42-year-old Venus Williams. So her sister's 42 and Serena's 40. But she did become 42 and 0 in the first 2 rounds. So I'm going to correct that part of the video. She's not 42 years old, but she did become 42 and 0 in the first 2 rounds of the US Open. Okay? So thanks a lot, Richard, for correcting me. Yeah, Venus is 42. My bad. Okay. Yep. Yeah, that 42 is sick. It's mockery, and it's unfortunate because I don't know why these people participate in this. I'm pretty sure Serena knows the significance of the number 42. Yeah, so I'm gonna actually change the title. The title should not be 42-year-old. It should be Serena Williams is not 42 in the first 2 rounds. So that's much better. Her sister's 42. That's what it was. I thought when I saw this, I thought it was because I typed in Serena 42 and 0. I don't know why an article about Venus came up, but there's probably some significance with that as well. You know, her doing all these accomplishments while her sister's 42 years old. Hopefully, her sister doesn't, accidentally trips and falls anytime soon. You know what I mean? All right. So enjoy the Wednesday, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. Please like the video, share the video. I mean, people need to learn about this already. Enough is enough. Jesus Christ.